and we're back for another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, and Game Source. We truly appreciate everyone out there listening to all of our shows. And if you can, please give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Plus, if you can like, share, subscribe, follow, or do anything that you can to support us right here at the Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, wherever you get your podcasts. Plus, as well, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, Game Source, the great folks at LakersBall.com. Please go ahead and check out their game time chats with Ox1947 and everyone at LakersBall.com each and every game. Plus, the great folks at Lakerholics.com. Be part of the conversation today at Lakerholics.com, where Jamie Sweet is always writing some good things in his 5 Things articles. Plus, LakerTom has his awesome articles there as well. Be part of the conversation today at Lakerholics.com. Plus, our good friends at the Hoopheads Podcast Network, where they have an array of great NBA shows like ours waiting right there for you. And if you can support all these great causes, it is sincerely appreciated. Well, the Lakers on a back-to-back, before we even started the season, when you have the oldest roster in the league, you got to know that when you have the oldest roster in the league, you knew days like these were going to be trouble when they were back-to-back. And heading into Washington, D.C., we thought as we left you last night that LeBron was probably going to take a nice rest and rest up for breaking the record to become the number 2 all-time NBA scorer in league history on Monday in Cleveland, where he's from, where he's played most of his career. But no, lo and behold, he shows up and he plays in tonight's game against the Washington Wizards, and that got us excited. And it must have got the Lakers excited because they got off to a great first half, shooting 59% and getting out to a double-digit lead for most of that first half. But unfortunately, after the momentous occasion of LeBron in the second quarter with a layup passing Karl Malone to become the number 2 all-time leading scorer in the NBA, the second half came around and the Lakers, unfortunately, looked like the oldest team in the NBA as they ran out of gas in the fourth quarter, getting outscored 34-20 and falling to the Washington Wizards 127-119. I do want to say, though, that the Lakers in the first half really looked strong. Again, getting out on the break, turning the ball over as far as on the other end for their defensive issues to side. They were just getting some turnovers. They were on the transition. They were passing the ball. They were shooting it well from 3. All the things that you want to see the Lakers do in that first half. But you could tell as the third quarter and especially the fourth quarter went on that the Lakers were just, the steam was just leaving the station, as they were. So, unfortunately, there was no more gas in the tank for the Lakers, and they just couldn't quite get it done. But here today to talk about the game and LeBron's historic and momentous occasion where he becomes the number 2 all-time leading scorer in the NBA are 3 great guests indeed. First up, first man here is a good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check out what he's doing today at Lakerholics.com in his 5 Things articles. It is Jamie Sweet. And Jamie, I know you caught this on social media before we get into LeBron and all that. I want to pay a special tribute to a good friend of ours who just landed a special gig due to the retirement of Chad Ford of the NBA Big Board, that people have known for years as the NBA draft guru on ESPN. Well, he's retiring from the NBA draft scene, and he's bequeathing all of his NBA Big Board newsletter and podcasts, all that stuff he's going to go on, all that big audience, to our good friend Rafael Barlowe. I want to wish him congratulations on that. Wish Chad Lowe just the best, Chad Ford, the best of luck as far as with everything on that. And I'll tell you what, it's just great to see Rafael Barlowe getting, man, he's not even going to know us here in a bit, Jamie.
Oh, no. Nor should he. What? I mean, come on. That guy's got his hustle on big time. He's working.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wish him all congratulations. He's overseas right now scouting as only he can. But yes,
a lot of hours, a lot of miles, and that just shows the amount of respect he has for the game, for his work ethic.
Yes.
The dude is tireless. Family man now. Going to be a family man soon, I should say.
Yes, soon.
On the horizon. So all the best to the Barlowe clan. Congrats to Rafael.
Yes, congrats to Rafael Barlowe, indeed, from all of us here at the Lakers Fast Break. He actually reached out to me and said some nice personal things on the DM. I know he's given me a lot of credit as the guy who got him started in podcasting. I just put the light in, up there in his head and told him that he could do this, and he's ran with it. So he gets all the credit in the world. And
you're just happy to be nominated. Yeah, I know.
I'm just happy. Well, he's going to get me on the show eventually one day again. So I'm looking forward to go ahead and talking the draft and Lakers with him at some point down the road. But getting back to today's game, it is LeBron in the only highlight of the day, I guess you could say, becoming the number 2 all-time leading scorer. Still about 2,000 points away. And I'll get you the exact totals here in a bit as far as exactly how far he's behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But a momentous occasion for him, not so much for the Lakers.
No, it was a terrible game for the Lakers. I mean,
terrible second half.
I thought we didn't play much defense the whole. We
never played defense at all. No one played defense
for the whole game. So I didn't think it was a great game because that's the part of the court I worry a lot more about than our scoring still. A great accomplishment for LeBron. It shows his, a lot of work goes into getting a number, that kind of scoring numbers. I mean, when Russ said at the podium after the win last night that, he's at 23,000 points, I was like, right. You pour in buckets if you're a good guy in the NBA, and LeBron is certainly one of the best to have ever played the game. And, he's got the triple-double 10,000 stat to show for it, and now he's just behind the captain. I want to say he's like 1,260. He is
actually 1,440 points. 1,440 points behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because Kareem's at 38,387, and LeBron is 36,947.
So if he could average 60 games next season and, play 60 games next season and average, a little over 20 some odd points.
If he averages 38 like he did tonight, he could do it next week.
No, I don't know about that.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Mathematically, I believe that's an impossibility. But, congrats to LeBron. It sucks that he's had so many of these, historical accomplishments mired by such a dreary Lakers season. And that's sort of my only, I guess, regret. Other than that, there's not a lot for LeBron to regret in life. I would imagine he's put in a lot of hard work. And the game has rewarded him for it. Not in terms of free throws, but the game of basketball itself. So
just think if he averaged 80% free throws, he would already be there already.
I mean, think if he averaged close to the amount of free throws other superstars get in the terms of playing the game. And LeBron operates a lot out of the post. So it's one of those things that's just always been kind of weird.
Same thing with Shaq or Wilt Chamberlain.
Same thing with Shaq and same thing with a lot of the bigs. Not Joel Embiid, but a lot of the other
Kareem wasn't
bigs.
A great free throw shooter either.
He was like 70, a little under 70%, I think, for his career. 70%.
That's not great, man.
I mean, for a big man, it's not bad. But
he made the two that counted in '88.
That's right. He made the two that counted in '88, and he made more than Shaq, which explains why he averaged got a lot more points. But in terms of the Lakers, this team's any
just
thought
ran
of
gas.
Well, no, I mean this is who they've been all season. This a game like tonight isn't the outside the norm. It has been the norm for this entire season. So. Am I disappointed? I guess at this point a little bit. I kind of just each game is its own microcosm of how can we put on a clinic as to how to not close out a game or how not to defend a team with one superstar who played like a shadow of himself for three quarters and still not be able to walk away with a W. I don't have there's not an explanation that makes sense to me at this point. If you look at the stats for this game, you would think we would have actually won this game. Outside
because you're not going to get these kind of back-to-back games.
Russ is not going to play this well maybe ever again for his entire life. Like that might be the last best shooting game of Russell Westbrook's career, right? Like probably not, but
10 of 15, 22 points.
He was great. I wish he was actually a little more aggressive looking for his own shot tonight. I thought that after LeBron hit that accomplishment, the whole steam went out of our game. We did not have a lot, and that happened in the first half. That happened with a few minutes to go in the first half. So, it's nice that we're playing with more spirit, I guess, than we were a month or so ago, 3 weeks ago, a little bit before the break. But this team just has so many holes in the roster. It's got so many old guys who honestly aren't even playing anymore in favor of guys picked up off the junk heap of the NBA talent pool. And, I don't know that I'll expect anything different till we blow up the team in the summer. I don't see a reason to expect anything different. I don't know what would cause someone to think this team isn't capable of anything more than what it's shown to this point, because that's all they've shown. So, but congrats to LeBron, and congrats. Can we just talk about Rafael for like a half hour and then
believe me, I'd love to, because man, he
much cheerier topic.
Exactly, and I'm so happy for him. But here today to talk about today's game and LeBron's achievement is also a good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out every single game time chat at LakersBall.com. As Ox1947, it is Joe Soro. Good to have you here, my friend. LeBron hits number 2 all time. The Lakers fall in the second half. They run out of gas and run out of steam in the fourth quarter. Jamie's right when he said the defense, again, this has been an issue since I started calling this way back in the preseason when I said there's an issue with the defensive side of the ball. But today, the offense was clicking at 59% in the first half. You think maybe they could go ahead and have just enough good shooting to keep them in that game and keep them ahead, especially when they were up by double digits most of the way. But unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Well, the running out of gas analogy is made me think that this reminds me of a vehicle that's, when you drive, and let's say if you've driven in your life and you wanted to risk getting home on a quarter tank, but you'll probably need a little more. And then, of course, things are
I've done that.
Yeah, we've all done it. It gets exasperated by running into hilly roads. So as you're climbing that hill, you're just going, God, how can I get up this hill with as little on the pedal as possible? And then when you get down a little bit, you almost go into neutral and go in, right?
I've 100% done that in my life.
I've done that. Now that can also happen if, let's say, your truck overheats. I've been involved in both of those. So this was a perfect example of those things. Is they were treading, little by little. They were losing gas, little. Then they'd go, oh, is it going to make it? No. And then they didn't make it. And they didn't make it because they don't have the size to stop size. It's not as simple as they don't know how to play defense. I mean, we already know they don't know how to do that.
It's clear that Porzingis, once he started to impose his will, it was very hard for the Lakers to go ahead and stop him.
And then he's hitting, and Tom and I talked about this before. I said it on Game Time. This is by far the most ridiculous season I've ever watched when it came to the other team not only playing way above their capabilities on a regular basis, but the fact that every bleep damn ball just seems to magnetize to their hands. We've watched basketball for a very long time. I just do not remember the amount of crappy luck just in simply getting a rebound. I'm watching it. The guys were boxing out, and the ball was just going right to the guy on the corner. It's weird, and it kept happening. And it's just a cursed season. it is the most cursed season I've ever watched, and it can't end soon enough. Even though I was kind of optimistic that if AD can get back, he'd solve so much of their defensive problems. We would at least have a shot at winning some games with him there. I don't know, because it's sad, because you're watching LeBron play. You could tell he ran out of gas too at the end. He couldn't do everything. He was playing amazingly. And that pass, looking at the season in review already, that pass that Stanley made for LeBron's passing of Karl Malone's all-time point record, that was the exciting play that I was looking forward to with Russell Westbrook coming on board. I was anticipating that. The question has always it's always the question when it comes to guys like LeBron, Kobe, any dominant perimeter player, can they play off the ball? And that play right there is just a small portion of why I thought, man, that LeBron is what I want to finish his career, because it's less stress. He still has the speed. He still has the instinct to get to the hole. He's too big for anybody to get in front of. And I was imagining just game in and game out of Russell Westbrook handling the ball, getting an open lane, and then bounce past to LeBron to the hoop, because, again, we're opening up that offense. We have AD here, LeBron here. You're kind of stuck. You don't know who you got, and again, Westbrook could get to the hole too. So those, when you sit back and you say, we knew that this Russell Westbrook thing wasn't going to work, there's merit there, and you were right. But at the same time, that play was why I thought it would work. And we're just a broken team, that the parts don't work. And with the parts not working, Vogel has not mentally adjusted. He just has not adjusted to the adjustments. And it's not his fault, but he's not the right coach anymore for this team. And I don't know if he'd be the right coach for a revamped Laker team either. I just think his voice is done. And it's not a surprise, guys. Again, Vogel is a company man. I made the joke a year and a half ago that I think I might have said this on the show a few months back, but I love bringing it up. I said if Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, was one of his assistant coaches, he'd call him great too. That's the company man he is. I don't particularly like, in a lot of ways, I don't particularly like that. I don't like that in any business.
Real family man.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that, a guy that's always telling me what I want to hear. And Vogel, because those voices eventually really get tuned out. So Vogel, we're looking at not long for him to go. There might be some salvaging of something if AD can come back healthy. I'm hearing Nunn might be coming back. He was, I guess, lighting it up in practice. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
but
looks great in practice. Let's get him out.
I know Sasha Vujicic looked great in practice too.
Yeah.
Well, at least Sasha played
because of the loss.
Yeah. But yeah, the gas running out.
The PR move.
The fuel. No, it's more like this.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. He used to do this too.
Yeah,
that's eyebrows.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, the eyebrows.
Speaking of free throws, he hit the 2 free throws that we needed the most.
That's true. That's true.
You can't take away from him. You can't.
Yes, and by the way, Kareem's free throw.
And he had good choice in girlfriends.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely won in that department. Kareem's lifetime free throw percentage is 74%. That's pretty darn good for a big man. So,
yeah,
Jamie, that's one for
why
you.
Why are we doing this on
Triple
a
G,
for a
you need
big man?
You need to drop down below Tom now.
Yeah.
So.
Gerald, you're at the bottom.
Why are you guys saying, oh, it's for a big man? For a big man, it should be for. I thought they all played basketball.
Listen.
Yeah, but when you're
for
7 foot,
man.
when you're 7'2", your depth is kind of weird. Plus, if you have hands like
what's Porzingis' free throw shooting at?
Now let's look at LeBron James. Well, he's an elite outside shooter. Come on.
Oh, so that's an exception. Okay.
Look, he's out there busting his buns every night. You
It's
try to
just
go
the
up
law
and
of
down the
averages.
court with
Big men shoot a
all
lower
game.
percentage from the free throw line.
I
It's
know
that simple.
this.
LeBron's career is
Should we
73.
really do this on the slant for a big guy? For a big guy.
73% for LeBron. So let's just, let's just call it what it is.
I'm just
The
saying
thing
if
is,
they
guys,
shot 80%.
First of
Gerald
all,
obviously has anti-Kareem bias.
I don't
That's
remember
LeBron's second best season ever.
I don't
His best is
remember.
77%, so it's not like
I know. I'm saying.
He's
I'm
killing
just
it.
said. What if he had shot 80% from free throws, or Kareem, or
what if he got 30
Jack,
free throws a
or
game?
Wilt.
Like some
Okay,
of these
if
other
if
people
if, if
do?
Kareem's shooting 80% from the free throw line in his career, does he win another title?
100%.
He probably stays number one in total points.
I agree with you, Tom.
I agree with both. Yes, I think he wins one more title. And
What?
how?
Does he win? Does he win?
I would have to go back and look at how games worked out, what it meant for seeding and stuff. But like,
In the
generally,
playoffs, that could be critical, man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if we, I mean, would it have mattered in the Boston Massacre game? No, of course not.
They did an experiment on Shaq's missed free throws. They said Shaq never cost the Lakers a single game with his free throws, and I can vouch for that because I don't remember him missing free throws that cost him the game. I don't remember ever.
Well, that all depends on the rules you set for any type of discussion.
And
like
what
that,
the-
you know?
And what does that even mean? Does that mean like the first 3 quarters of a basketball game?
Yeah, exactly. They
count?
don't. You're saying, just like I was saying about sliding down as far as the
Analytics, guys. We're in the world of analytics.
So if he misses 10 free throws in the first quarter,
Right.
I call it analytics.
I do too.
I call it a bunch of horse.
I have a hard time with it.
Let's get LakerTom in here.
Let the hate flow through you.
Okay, well, something's flowing through me. Maybe it's my dinner.
Really?
But also, as well, here today is a good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check out his latest article today at Lakerholics.com. Please be part of the conversation today at Lakerholics.com and check out his latest article. Could this be the turning point for Russell Westbrook and the Lakers? Well, not so for the Lakers, but Russell Westbrook perhaps, because he's had probably for the first time all season 2 straight good games in a row. And here today to talk about his game, LeBron's record, and the game as a whole. It's a good man indeed. It is LakerTom. LakerTom, again, you could be right as far as Russell Westbrook turning that corner. But the team, unfortunately, like I said, I think they just ran out of gas playing back-to-back. And again, it's the fact that you still have such an aged, old team for the most part that's your major contributors. Maybe there's something else there as well, but I still think, again, they ran out of gas.
Well, I think that's obviously part of it. But I think didn't both teams play last night?
Yeah, they both played.
It's
Yep,
not like-
Washington was playing and lost to New York.
It's not like we were the well-rested team.
Well, but
you
that's
know,
a short flight. That's a short flight from New York.
I have continued mixed feelings about the game because I do think that there were some things that were very positive. It's great. First off, let me give congratulations to Rafael Barlowe. Talk about a guy who is on a rocket for success. And it couldn't be a better guy to do it. And just the moves that Rafael's made, getting married instead of having a wedding, going to Paris instead, and eloping to Paris, and and then going to become a prospective father, and then getting adopted, getting the big podcast thing, and then the Chad Ford situation. My God, that's just great. Can't wait to hear from Rafael and wish him the very best.
Rafael's made better moves this season than Rob Pelinka.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, I might, just based on the times I've talked basketball with Rafael, I have never talked basketball with Rob Pelinka, but
Throw his name
I
into
might agree with
that.
that statement there. At any rate, moving on to LeBron James, I mean, being number 2 all-time regular season scoring is no small feat.
Yes.
So congratulations to LeBron. I think he almost is glad to get it out of the way.
Well, he was trying hard in that first half to get it out of the way.
This was one of those games where the free throws were really, I mean, we lost this game at the free throw line. We won the points in the paint. We won the rebounding battle. We matched them in 3-point shooting. They won the game at the free throw line, despite us winning points in the paint. And so this continued disrespect, and this is also too, if you look at the game, there's two guys who had minus 17 plus minuses for this game. One of them was Avery Bradley. He was minus 17, the worst on the team. He played 11 minutes. Vogel played him 11 minutes in the fourth quarter, more minutes than Monk and Reeves combined. And then,
can I just say one thing though? Your love fest with Avery Bradley for one day, for 24 hours.
I'm sorry, Avery. We're talking about tonight's game last night.
Tom treats Avery Bradley. That's the
problem with Frank. That's the problem with Frank, is that he's got a preconceived, incorrect judgment of players, and he's shown that so many times that we don't even have to talk about it. But he basically has a reputation in his mind for Avery Bradley that he wanted to play him before Monk and Reeves. And then I don't care where you coach. When you got a guy who is 7'3", who can shoot a free throw, and you guarding him with 6'3" guards, how stupid do you have to be as a coach? Seriously. Was Dwight available? Was he not available?
He was available.
He was available, and you don't put him out there when this guy scores like over and over and over in the fourth quarter, and you don't make an adjustment, but you put Avery Bradley in there to pull Monk out, or you pull Reeves for Avery Bradley, and you play him 11 out of 12 minutes. That's the reason we lost the game. Same reason we probably lost a dozen of the other games. Not enough to make us even a playoff team, but probably to at least give us a chance at being 6th seed. But there are some good signs. It's not all bad, because Russell Westbrook has kind of figured out how to be effective with his team. The last 2 games, I love how they're posting him up, because when he's in the post like that, you better double him or he's going to get a lot of easy baskets. And when you double him, he is looking, and he's focusing not necessarily on scoring, but on creating spacing. And it's an interesting addition to the strategy to make up for the lack of shooting that Russ has that hurts our spacing, because he really creates great spacing when he gets in there in the middle like that. And what we're seeing too is LeBron James playing an awful lot off the ball. And giving Russ a chance to be Russ, because Russ can't be Russ if he doesn't have the ball in his hands. That's one of the things that you got to figure out, and you got to make a decision. How are you going to win? Well, you're going to win if Russ is playing Russ the way he's doing the last couple of games. So you got to get LeBron, and LeBron off the ball. He made so many great backdoor cuts, and the team has gotten so good at that the interior passing and the motion and movement of player and ball that we're seeing is a dramatic improvement. So think about this. We did hear, and I know it's more Pollyanna, we did hear that Kendrick Nunn and Anthony Davis both were lighting it up in pregame warm-up.
I'm just kind of happy you said Pollyanna in the year 2022.
Well, man, what can I say? But anyway, take those two guys and plug them in to replace Avery Bradley and DJ Augustine.
My question
is all of a sudden you have a team that, like the last game we played against a very tough Raptors team, had almost everybody participating and contributing. We're falling a couple players short. That's what happened tonight. A couple players didn't come through and produce. And we turned the ball over 4 times in the fourth quarter, which is always a recipe for disaster. And LeBron, after breaking the record, basically mailed in a bunch of heat checks in the second half. And you know, you got to pace yourself if you're 82 games and you've.
And we didn't play defense.
Yeah, you know, so
that's the question I have is I'm at the point now where is it possible for us this summer?
It's possible we could even do well in the playoffs.
Well, let's evaluate. Let's say the Lakers get AD back. I won't say anything about none yet. Let's just say we get AD back, and we win now in the play-in. We persevere through that,
So
and then we play.
8.
And when we play Phoenix and we take them to 6, let's just say that happens. It's very likely that Russell Westbrook was a part of that resurgence.
That won't be enough.
Right. So the question now is, this summer, with that, do we take another chance? Do we take a chance in letting him finish out the contract and see how he does the following year with a healthy team, right? However, is it possible? Are the free agents available this summer? Are there any 3-and-D guys that you can put around these guys?
Sure.
Are they out there? Is what I want to know.
Free agents? I don't even know if we would have the cap space to sign a free agent to much of a contract to be.
No,
I will tell you right now.
For people.
Well, right
we're
now,
use Monk will take whatever we've got in terms of a mid-level exception.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Monk. I think Monk is a good player. Monk is a good player, but he's not.
Well,
he's
we're
a part
only
of the
talking
problem.
about $6 or $10 million a year.
He's a part of the problem. He's a part of the problem.
I think he'll probably try to shoot for 12 in the marketplace.
He's a part of the problem on defense.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not. It's reality.
Yeah. No.
But unless you can get 3 starters, he's probably one of your 5 starters next year.
Yeah, this team cannot function without a cohesive defensive.
We need a big. We need a big who can shoot and can protect the rim. Either Jeremy Grant or Miles Turner, a forward or a center.
Is Grant capable of playing center?
No, but he's going to play the 3.
He'll play the 3.
People, so LeBron doesn't have to do that.
I'm assuming next year we get our center in the form of AD playing 60-plus games.
It's not going to happen.
I don't think so.
You don't think AD is going to ever play 60-plus games again?
No, it isn't that. But
yeah,
it's mental with him. He's not.
Yeah, no, you're right.
He's not a killer.
I actually did a whole post about his mentality being that of a power forward. You said it
best the other night. You said it best last night, Jamie, when I pushed you on trying to say who would you think would really help the Lakers. And this is funny because the other person that this could help is Frank Vogel, because the Lakers need. I actually think that it's a funny thing. Even though Anthony Davis may be the best center, he may be better playing at a power forward for the Lakers if we were to put a guy who could do what McGee and Howard did at their prime on the defensive end, but it could also stretch the floor and give us spacing on the offensive end.
I don't even care about that.
AD's not the first guy to do this. Tim Duncan refused to call himself a center, right?
Yep.
But it was okay with him because he was phenomenal on defense, he was fundamental on offense, and he was a great team player.
Right.
So this isn't something new.
And durable.
And even when he was not durable, he still played.
Yep.
He played on one leg a lot too, right? I mean, he had a knee problem. Didn't Popovich one time sit him down? I think the tag next to it was old.
Yeah. Yes. Did not play old.
So
we need size. We need
a coach that can come in here and devise a plan to mentally have these guys going.
Yeah, but I'd much prefer LeBron playing the 4 where he doesn't have to run around chasing guys at the 3. And I'd much prefer
today especially. It was very obvious that LeBron James, if he's playing off ball and was getting the bounce passes he was getting, the cuts to the basket, because no one else cuts to the basket. LeBron cuts to the basket. No one else does, it seems like. I don't know why. I don't know why people just stand around and watch. And I don't know why it's not coached.
It's analytics, baby. It's not.
Bill McDonald during the game was pointing that out. And as soon as he pointed that out, not 2 seconds later, but LeBron James cut to the basket and got a basket.
Well, I will say part of the problem tonight was that once the Wizards went into a zone, that was the end of our offensive penetration. It ended there, and that's also why we lost we lost the free throw game is to indicate we were driving the ball into the paint over and over, trying to create contact. This team doesn't try to create contact, and this team doesn't try to outsmart the other team. It tries to do what it thinks it should do better the other team, and that's a Vogel problem. That's why I will forever say that this team was poorly constructed, and I don't necessarily agree that firing Vogel at this point is going to make any difference at all, but I do blame him as we've said multiple times here, and Joe pointed out earlier this evening, he hasn't adjusted to the reality that this team is. He's tried to do Frank Vogel things that he was able to do when he had guys like KCP, guys like Kuzma, guys like Caruso, guys who could defend multiples of positions and multiple locations on the floor. And, the one time he ever made all the right adjustments was the bubble NBA finals, and he might have burned all those cards in that run, because since then he has made none that makes sense to me. Pretty much, it's been all stubborn.
Drummond. I mean, how much Drummond did we get?
But why? And again, why did Dwight Howard not see any floor time tonight? Like,
it's so stupid.
I don't understand any of the mentality. Why did we get DeAndre Jordan and then play him for far too many minutes early in the all these?
Well, at least
things.
Philadelphia is finding out about DeAndre Jordan right now.
Yeah. Sure, whatever. Great. I mean, they're fine, right? They're going to be fine in the playoffs. He won't play in the playoffs, and they're going to make the playoffs, unlike us. And so, there's just this game was lost once the team took its foot off the gas pedal collectively when LeBron hit that milestone, and that's what happened. We never played good defense. We stopped driving the ball to the rim. We settled for bad shots. In fact, if you look at the box score,
we don't have enough good players.
I think the offense was fine. I think the offense was fine.
The offense is fine, exactly.
It's the defense that was just atrocious.
All game, all season, we're last in defensive efficiency after being first in defensive efficiency last season. So it's either the players or the coach or a combination thereof. I happen to think it's a combination thereof. I think that we just have done a terrible job adjusting to reality this season. There's been too much I don't know. I don't know what the reason for it is. I think a lot of it is three superstars adjusting to sharing the ball with a coach that doesn't understand offense in terms of, not that he doesn't understand offense, but that his focus is not on the offensive end. He's going to let them figure it out to a large degree. He's going to be like, well, this is what I want to see. This is what I think we should do. You guys are the superstars. You're the top, this.
But Jamie, that's not the problem though. The defense has been the problem.
But you've taken away all of Vogel's tools, right? Like, he had a bunch of tools, and this is, again, I think that you're right. He's done a poor job adjusting to the personnel on the team. Has Austin Reeves been a nice surprise? Yeah, he's been a nice surprise, but he enough to make up for what we lost in KCP, Kuzma, and Caruso, and even, frankly, Dennis Schroeder, who's kind of an underrated defender.
We'd have been fine if we kept Caruso.
I don't know if we would have been fine. We would have been better.
We would have been better. I agree.
We would have been better. I don't think. I mean, I'm with Joe. I did not see the Russell Westbrook fit being this difficult to figure out.
Yeah,
and that I thought,
obviously.
But I mean,
but Gerald thought he knew.
Gerald didn't.
That's on record. That's documented on this show.
I'm gonna get him a little horn he can toot every morning. I was right about Westbrook. He can go beep beep. Yeah, talk that little. I'm
That's
buying
okay.
you.
I've got ice. I can ice it down. There you go.
Okay. Oh wow. All right. Anyway, I don't know. This is the problem. We're not gonna.
I wanted to be wrong, by the way, just to let everyone know.
I've wanted to be wrong a lot this season too, but unfortunately, it's not the reality. So.
Yes, but indeed. But I tell you what, it is the Lakers unfortunately falling after a fourth quarter collapse. They did fall.
Those Bruins?
How about your Bruins? Indeed.
How about Baylor?
Yeah. How about? Well, okay. I put it this way: on my social media, as I do every year.
Go amateurs! Go amateurs!
Yes. Well, as I do every year, I usually put around this time. Hey, how's your bracket doing, Gerald? And I always used to post David Caruso walking away from a car bomb or a dumpster fire. And this year, I chose a dumpster fire because that's my bracket.
You need to watch that meme where that guy does this. You can't be upset with your bracket if you
St. Peter's, man.
If you can't be mad at your
They
bracket
destroyed
if
everyone's
you don't
bracket.
make one.
That's right. That's right.
That's
I'm with
true.
you, Joe. I have
Where's that? That's one of the best memes ever. You can't be upset about your bracket if you don't fill one out.
I just don't care about college sports in general. I'm just like, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, college sports is good for the fans, good for the community.
But now they can pay players. Now they can pay players. It's
I know. Well, that's no. It doesn't make it more interesting. It just makes it fair for the players.
Yes, that's true. But LakerTom's UCLA is still going strong. Once again, it's the Lakers fast
why is it
break.
Tom's UCLA?
Because
he
went to UCLA. Did you go to UCLA too, Joe?
No.
Did you go to UCLA?
No, I went to Cal State.
I went to UCLA.
I went to San Diego State.
I went to USC.
I only went there 1 year, but
I
remember looking. Look, I swear, I went
party college.
I looked and I said, I can't do 13,000 a semester. Come on, come on. Really?
USC got robbed.
Actually, it was a year. Sorry, it was a year. That was before, that didn't count the housing either.
USC got robbed by the officials twice within the last 2.5 minutes.
Sure.
Well, they deserve it.
No, they don't.
Robber barons, bunch of rich kids, man. Nothing as good as beating SC.
Okay, Joe just talked about how much it costs for UCLA, and you talk about rich kids at USC. I understand what their nickname is.
Also, I love calling out robber barons.
I went to USC.
UCLA ain't cheap, my friend.
I went to USC too. So
okay.
Yeah, I visited USC and UCLA.
More expensive. Really expensive.
I walked on campus.
Both places. I didn't have to pay for it.
Community college.
Hey, I've been to the Rose Bowl, guys. I watched the game there.
I spent 2 years in community college.
You know what, guys? I think that's time to wrap it up. But I just want to go ahead and say again, the Lakers do fall.
Congrats, LeBron. Way to go, LeBron.
Yeah, congrats, LeBron. Number 2 all-time score. The Lakers did lose 127.
Congrats for second place. Really, guys? How about we wait till he passes Kareem?
Well,
I mean, it's
never a sure thing. An injury or something could happen, man.
Yeah. So congrats to LeBron on becoming number 2. But if you want to go ahead and check out what we're doing, Ox1947 at LakersBall.com.
I don't want to check out what we're doing.
Okay. Well, check out what he's doing.
But you're doing it. You don't have to check it out.
Yes.
You see it happen.
I turned my phone off.
Well, yeah, but I see you too. You've got your keyboard going strong during the game, that's for sure. LakersBall.com. He's Ox1947 or at Joe Soro 5 on Twitter. Jamie Sweet, you can find his articles at 5 Things at Lakerholics.com. LakerTom is also at Lakerholics.com. His latest article, could this be the turning point for Russell Westbrook and the Lakers? Again,
no. Still could be.
For Russell Westbrook, could be. For the Lakers,
Still could be.
Yes.
I mean, what would be a successful season at this point?
I thought you were taking us off air with
taking down Phoenix and winning the play-in and taking down Phoenix in the first round. Would you be happy with that?
No.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
No, I wouldn't be happy. I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah,
I'd be ecstatic. I'd be ecstatic with that. Going into the second round.
Honestly,
by the second round,
I'd be happy if we take Phoenix to 7 games. That
was a Chevy Chase comeback.
If we take Phoenix to 7 games,
I tell you what, if we ended up winning, if we end up making the Western Conference Finals, Frank Vogel might still have a job next year.
The question is, they're not losing there if they beat Phoenix. Anyways, they're going all the way at that point.
Once you beat Phoenix, you've eliminated.
They have a good chance. It's funny because they're going to end up playing in the 1-8, 4-5.
Gerald's like, I'm trying to end the show.
All the tough teams.
I feel like it's a Brady Bunch with these little screens I do as far as this
but Gerald,
I'd like to play everybody a song.
Well, Jamie Sweet and Sean Grice will be back tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and cover the Eastern and Western conferences.
Hopefully.
Plus, also as well, Monday they're on the Lakers.
Early.
LeBron goes back to Cleveland. It's going to be an early game, 4 p.m. Pacific.
You know that's where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is?
Yes.
You know that's where Superman was created?
Yeah.
Okay. When are you going to come to Cleveland? You know what that's from?
No.
You ever seen the movie Trainwreck?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
When LeBron was talking to Bill Hader?
That's LeBron's best performance on film.
By far that's the funniest. No, I'm sorry. That's the second funniest scene in that movie because John Cena absolutely killed in the theater.
Yes, in the theater scene. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
He's like,
other than that movie was terrible.
But once again, It is the Lakers falling again in the
I want
fourth
to go watch
quarter.
that now.
Was there a basketball game tonight?
There was a basketball game tonight, but the
Oh,
Lakers
that's
did fall
Yeah,
127 to
but
119.
it stopped playing after the third quarter.
LeBron's number 2 all time, but we will be back definitely on Monday after the game against Cleveland. It is a 4 p.m. start time. It's going to be on the Lakers channel. Right now, the Lakers, as they're sitting, they're 30-41, ninth place in the Western Conference, only a half game ahead of the New Orleans Pelicans. So keep an eye on that, folks, because this time Monday night, the Lakers could be finding themselves in 10th place, but we'll wait and
Well, we
see.
play the Pelicans 2 more times this year.
The Pelicans can knock us out of the playoffs.
Yeah, well, it's going to take a little bit because we're 3 games ahead of San Antonio. So just to
Right.
They can knock us down to 10th probably.
Yeah.
I'll have to be satisfied with that.
Do you know how happy Greg Popovich would be if he and the Spurs made it to the NBA playoffs, even if it's through the stupid play-in? And is it lost on anyone that the play-in that we were all deriding just a short season ago is the Lakers? It's now suddenly.
I didn't. That was LeBron.
That was LeBron.
No, I don't mean
LeBron
us. Yeah, no, I know, but that's.
I just couldn't quite get the concept as far as the 8-9, the 7-8, and the 9-10. I just didn't. I thought it would be better if they did a 7-10 and an 8-9 personally. But
sure. Yeah, whatever. But I hear you.
And a
It gives the
combination.
advantage to 7 and 8 because they only have to win one. They get 2 shots at it. They can lose once.
It's
still
just,
make it.
again, it's not a perfect system, but I like the plan. It keeps more teams involved. It makes for a lot of conversation. There you go.
I mean, it's interesting.
That's another argument for another day.
I'm not about that. I'm about you perform well for 82 games, you get into playoffs. Not this, hey, we don't want you. We want you. Hey, you're in ninth
Jamie,
place,
take us
buddy.
home, my friend.
You're in ninth place. You tried your best.
All right. Well, once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. We truly appreciate you talking to us out there, you watching and following us out there, watching and listening. We will be back on Monday night for sure. Hopefully tomorrow as well, but definitely Monday night after the Cleveland game. Thanks again to everyone for watching and listening, and we'll see you this weekend maybe, but Monday definitely right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.